Up everyone, this is Bill. Today I got a video for you guys. I'm over here at Treal Performance, and today we're going to be showing you their ram air intake for the Ryker 900 and the Ryker Rally. So we're going to unbox this for you guys. It's going to come with your Vibrant air filter. So we're going to unbox it, show you what all is in the box, and then we are going to do an installation video and show you guys how to get it installed. Okay, so here we go in the box. Now this intake setup is going to be $295, and then you will have the option to purchase a pre-filter with it. I'll show you that. I'll show you guys what that looks like. That'll be a $25 add-on, so you're looking at $320 with the pre-filter, which is the option that I'm going with myself. So in the box, of course, you get a Treal Performance decal. Okay, so you can represent Treal Performance, and then you'll get this nice powder-coated black 3-inch aluminum tube. Okay, and Treal Performance over here, they are the best in the business when it comes to their welding work. You know, all this is aluminum. Really nice setup. This is going to use your factory airbox bolt. So your factory hardware there. The factory breather hose is going to go here. Okay, so then you are going to get, let's sit this back in here, we'll scratch her all up. So then you will also get your elbow here. Okay, so the elbow is going to come in there along with your clamps, and then your clamp for your filter, and then it's a Vibrant Performance filter that it's going to come with. I have one already open. I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. Okay, so here's the Vibrant filter. Pretty traditional style. It is tapered on the inside here, so it's velocity stacked on the inside. So when air comes in, it does basically hit a velocity stack to come into the intake tube. And then I'll show you what it looks like with that pre-filter on there. Okay, so here we are with the outerwear pre-filter. This is water resistant, water, snow, and ice resistant, resistant to fine dust particles getting lodged up in your intake. So this is almost a must-have for me. I live in the Pacific Northwest where it rains quite a bit. Most likely you go out on a nice day, you're going to get caught in the rain somewhere. Okay, so there's your pre-filter. Okay, and that's going to look like this guy right here. Your pre-filter comes in the bag. TerraFlow technology. Okay, really nice, high quality. So for an extra 25 bucks, you're looking at $320 out the door for your Treal Performance intake setup. Okay, it's going to come with everything you need, and you're, like I said, you're using that existing bolt for the for mounting the tube. Okay, so we'll get started. I'll show you guys what all we're going to take off the bike. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you guys through what all we're going to need removed off of the bike. And the main reason you have to remove quite a bit of stuff is to get the factory airbox out. That is the main chore of the whole job. Putting this on is a breeze, but getting that intake, the factory airbox out of the bike, it requires a little bit of work. It's not bad. You know, you do it if you followed the video, you could probably do it in about an hour. Okay, so we'll get started on that. Okay, so this is my 2019 Can-Am Ryker over here at Treal Performance, and this intake setup will fit the Can-Am Ryker Rally Edition as well. We know for sure that it'll fit the Rally motor, so the 900 motor. So this will work for your Rally or your standard 900. 600 stuff is still in the works. Okay, so the one thing is you're gonna have to take off. I don't know if everybody probably doesn't know this, but the whole entire body of the bike will recline upward. And you have to do that in order to get this factory airbox out. So, okay, so I'm going to walk you guys through what all I'm doing, and then I'm going to do it. I'll play a time lapse of the video of me actually taking it all apart. It's really not that complicated. First thing you're going to do is these two latches here. There's one under here. It's very simple. You just pull down, one here and one here. That removes this air box. It lifts up. It's sitting on a lip up here. Okay, we're going to take the air box off. We're going to take the hood off. There is two T30 Torx screws right under here and here to remove the front fascia. You're going to pull down on these to get this off. You pull down right here. You just pull straight down towards the ground, and it will come off here and here on both sides. So front fascia off, hood off, air scoop off. Then we need these. These push pins here and here. These push pins here and here on both sides. So those are going to pull off. You have two T20 Torx screws right here, one on each side. That's to take the glove box out. Okay, and then you're going to have a USB wire, positive and negative, to unplug before you yank that all the way out. So we're going to have to remove these. The glove box needs to come off. And then, so I'm going to do all that, and then I'll show you what we got to do from there. Okay, so I'll just run a little time lapse. It's really simple. Like I said, if you guys got any questions, just leave a comment down below. I'll answer anything that I can. This plastic stuff is all very easy to get off. Once you do it once, you'll understand how it comes all apart over and over again very easily. Okay, so let's get started. The front fascia off, the air box, the two plastic color panels here, and the glove box off. Okay, so this piece here needs to come off. And in order to take that off, you have a push pin just like the ones up top right here, or some people call them a plastic rivet. You have one right there. Okay, you come down here, one right here, and then you come down here, and you got one right there. Okay, so we're going to take those off. I'm going to let you watch me on camera get this off of here, because it is snapped on just like the front fascia is. Okay. Okay, so I've got the front rivet out, the back one. If you're wondering what I use to get those off, this is just a plastic pry tool or plastic trim removal tool. You can find these on Amazon for like 10 bucks for a set, usually cheaper than that. Okay, I'll put a link for that in the description there. So I'm going to come under here and get this guy out. Plastic rivets are very easy to remove. You take the top piece off, and then you get under the bottom, pull the bottom piece off. Okay, there's what these plastic rivets look like. They go in like that, and that's what spreads this guy apart. Okay. So what you're doing is you're getting your pry tool underneath the top here, pull that out, then you can pull this bottom piece out. And that's how they work. Okay, so now to remove this, it's on a push pin right here up in the front. So you'll hear it. All right, so we're going to pull that off. And then this is really flexible plastic. Okay, you're not going to break it. There you go. You see that? So put it back on. And you can literally just snap it right back on there. Or you can put the back part in, flex this out, and force it in. But this stuff's really flexible. You remember, this is the same stuff they use on side-by-sides and whatnot. So you're not going to break it. Hey, And there's what I was talking about right here. You see here, see a little push pin, that little clamping system right there that goes in the groove that's up here. Okay, so now we'll do that on the other side. It's exactly the same on the other side. And then I'll show you the bolts we're going to remove to get the whole seat assembly to recline. Okay. Okay, so here we are at the Ryker, and what I'm going to show you here is how to get the entire seat, body, and everything to lift upright. So you have full access to the airbox, top of the motor, full access to everything. Okay, so there is a total of 8 screws you're going to take all the way out. There's going to be 3 on this side, 3 on the other side, and the 2 under the back seat. So up here by this, where this plastic is, you're going to take out this back screw. I'll show you up close. Back screw here, 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 and the 2 under the back seat on each side. You're going to take those all the way out, and then we're going to loosen this screw so the whole body can pivot on it like a hinge. Okay, I'll show you what that looks like up close. And you'll need a T30. You can use a T30 nut driver like this, or screwdriver with a bit in it, or you can use T30 socket. Okay, so I'll show you up close the bolts that we're taking out and the one that we're going to loosen up. Okay, so I'll show you up close here towards the front end of the Ryker. Obviously, to do this, to get this lifted up is the reason why you have to take the top plastic colored panels off, the glove box out, the front fascia off, and these kick panels down here. All that has to come off before you can do this, because you have to be able to get to these bolts. Okay, so this is where the hinge right here. Okay, so the whole body is going to hinge on this, and it's going to open up like a clamshell. So we want to loosen that bolt, but not take it out. Just loosen it a little bit. This one comes out. You come back here. This one comes out. This one comes out on both sides of the bike. Okay, then you come back here under the seat, and you'll see 2 right here and here. You can see them up there. 2 T30 Torx bits. Those 2 come all the way out. Okay. Do not lift up on your foam seat. You will rip it off and possibly damage it. Okay, so like I was saying, we're going to remove 3 on that side, 3 on the other side, 2 under the back seat. We're going to loosen the front 2 like a hinge, and then I'll show you guys how it actually lifts up. Okay, so I'll roll a little time lapse of me doing that real quick, and we'll get it knocked out. Both sides are identical. Okay, so when you're putting the bike back together, just remember these T30 bolts. You'll have a long bolt that has no washer. That will go up in the front end. The bolts that have the washer on them will go in the back here. That's what goes here and here. And then the shorter bolt is what goes under the seat. Okay, that little guy right there. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to lift this up. Okay, one thing you will have to do before you lift this up, this is the only thing that conflicts with anything. Come over here, open this side air box by turning that little lock. And then you'll see on top of your air hose right here, this is where the air is coming into the motor. You'll have this piece that sits up here. Okay, this is just like on a little nipple system that plugs it into there, and all it's doing is holding these hoses. Okay, so that will, when you lift up, that is going to come undone on its own. Okay, you can't, it's very hard to get it. You can, I'm going to show you that you can, but if you just push straight back, you'll see. Okay, so that, see that oval shaped hole, this will plug into that. It's going to yank off of there when you open this up. Okay, it's going to automatically pull off of it on its own. Okay, so we just came over here and did it. This is fuel lines. All right, so now we'll show you how it opens up. Okay, so now that you have all those bolts out and those loosened up in the front, I'm gonna close this airbox just so it doesn't get in the way here. You will need something to prop it up with. Stay in focus. Okay. So now what you're gonna do, you're gonna come back and grab just under the plastic here. Don't grab your seat, you'll rip it right off of this. So just under this plastic, and then you got the plastic back here to the seat. And it's make all kinds of noise. Don't worry, you're not breaking nothing. Okay, we're gonna come up here. Actually go a little longer. There you go. And that's how it opens up, so you can get to your transmission, you can get to everything. All the engine bay in here. This airbox will come right out. You can get to the whole top of the header. You can get to everything by doing that. Okay, so once you've gotten this far, and we did find a better way, you know, if you're going to prop it up with a stick or something like that. I mean, BRP makes a part that was supposed to hold it up, but you really just need something. You could put a stick or a dowel rod right here up against this, and you probably don't want to put it up against your fender. You know, get it up there so it holds it up. And then here's that factory airbox, and the reason you're going to need the glove box removed and everything is because when we get it on there, we're going to set everything on. We're not going to tighten anything down. We're going to close it all back up, and then we're going to come through the glove box. We can reach our hand in here to get to the clamps and all that. Okay, and you can see how this piece that I was talking about right here snaps on there. It's pulled tight now, so you will have to pull that off there. It'll pull off on its own. If you were to just yank this up, this will pop right off, so you don't break nothing. Okay, so that is how you get the whole clamshell to open. Okay, that's how you get to that part. Okay, so the airbox is held on by a bolt here, and that's the factory bolt that you're going to reuse. If you look in here, you have this tube here. You're going to squeeze that with a pair of pliers and release that clamp. This tube comes off. It stays on the bike though. That's your breather tube that is going to plug into the new intake. Then you have this clamp here, which can be loosened right there. This elbow is going to come off completely. And then also there's a bolt right there on top for the airbox. Okay, there's both 10 millimeter on each, one on each side, one on the top and one right there. Okay, so we're gonna have to take that all apart and get that airbox out of there. Okay, your airbox is completely separate from this. Okay, transmission, airbox. Okay, so we're gonna get the airbox out of there. Show you guys what that looks like when we get done. So there we go, we got the intake box, the airbox off. This elbow off. Okay, so that, like I said, the breather hose is going to stay on there. I'm going to be reusing that. Okay, so now we'll get the new intake on there. First thing we're going to do is we're going to set it up there loosely with the bike open like this, and then we're going to lower the bike. We're going to close the shell. We're going to bolt the shell down. Then we're going to come through, make sure everything lines up where we want it. We're going to tighten down all the bolts on the intake. Okay, so we'll do that now. When you put your clamps on, you want this one on the inside to be at the bottom, so you'll be able to get to it straight from the opening of the glove box, and then the one on the bottom here, the smaller end, to be on the back, so you can get to it from where that airbox, this on this side for the transmission is. Okay, so you want to be able to get to here, and you need to be able to get down to here. It's going to be in something like that angle right there. Okay, so this guy needs to go bottom facing forward. just like you see there. To get just a little bit wet, so it'll slide on there nice and easy. Okay, so we're going to put that one on there, and we're just going to adjust it so the clamp don't move on us. We're not going to tighten it down yet. Okay, so we just got her on there hand tight so she can still move around. Okay. Okay, so you should have it like that. We can get to this nice and easy. These are 8mm. Then we got that one on top there. Okay, so now you're going to grab your intake tube. And the first thing we're going to do is shove this breather hose on here. And it will fit over this. It may look like it's not going to fit, but I assure you it will. We're going to get that on there. We don't need to put the clamp on just yet. The clamp should be resting on your hose here. Then we're going to shove the other end of this into our elbow. And like I said, you can use some soapy water. A little bit of saliva will do the job as well. Okay, and it needs to line up so this brace down here sits flat up against right here, and you're going to use your factory bolt. Remember, you're threading into aluminum where your factory bolt is, so don't go too haywire on the tension there. And we're going to get that down so it's just not tight yet, but okay, so we got that loosely on there. The clamp's not tightened down yet. Okay, so we can move anything around, make adjustments if we have to. So from there, we will put the body back down, and then we'll put the filter on. Okay, so putting the body back down is the same way that you took it off. And if you do have this brake cable, the way I did it is I just undid the two T20 Torx right off the lock from the glove box. This is a pretty common mod that locks your e-brake, locks your glove box. Yeah, it's a pretty common mod, so you may have to take those T20 screws out that hold the whole lock assembly. That'll make it real simple. If you don't have it, you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so that sits down like that. So now we're going to put our bolts back in. On this side, we're going to get our plastic back on, and then we're going to install the filter, and through the glove box we can reach everything we need to get that all tightened up. So I'm going to button the bike back up, and then I'll show you guys putting that intake setup on. Quick with you guys. So the front fascia, a lot of people have problems with this. Front fascia has two bolts that hold it on underneath, and that's it. Okay, so you want to go underneath and then lift up so that front fascia, that bottom plastic sits on the very bottom, and then you have some little nubs that stick out that go in these rubber plugs, one on each side. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to lift up, line up those rubber plugs, shove them through. Okay, now make sure your lip down here is on the very bottom of the bike. Make sure you didn't try to go underneath that little plate that's down there. Now these right here, okay, so the way this goes on is you put the front in first. You can get this back end to slip right in. You can also pull it downward, okay, and push in back here, and it will slide right on up. Okay, I'll do that again over here. Okay, just like that. To get it off, it pulls right out. So you're pulling directly towards the bottom of the shock. Pull straight down and out. Okay, real simple to do. Everybody thinks they're going to break the bike by pulling those off. You won't. I've done it many times, at least a dozen times on this bike. Okay, so I'm going to button that up and get the hood on. Okay, so if you've been following along, we got the bike all back together. The only thing we have off of it still is our upper plastic pieces and our glove box. Okay, so everything else is bolted back up. So now, everything is loosely fitted here. So what we're going to do is we're going to position this band so our bolt is our nut is at the bottom. Okay, so we're going to slide that over, and then we're going to get the filter on here. Okay, you're going to get that filter on there, and if you pay attention, you can have your seam on the filter at the bottom so you don't even see it. Okay. We're going to get that filter on there, get it sitting at the angle that you want it, and it shouldn't touch any of the plastic. Okay, and then we're going to slide our band over, and then we're going to use 8mm socket. We're going to get it finger tight so we can still move it around on down to the bottom. Sure you had a position where if you ever take it back off, you're going to be able to. And again, you don't want to go too crazy on tightening this down, but we will get this to its final tension here. Remember, this is bead rolled at the end of the pipe, so if it's clamped down, it's not coming off. Okay, so now what we'll do is we're going to tighten this bolt here, our 10mm. Okay. And again, remember, you're threading into the aluminum. This black powder coating is going to look really nice on there. Really accents the bike really good. It's a gloss black powder coat. And this whole intake setup weighs 2 pounds. With the filter, everything it comes with, 2 pounds. The factory air box, the air scoop that goes right here, the hose, all that goes with it is 6 pounds. So you're going to end up being 4 pounds lighter. Okay. That's a significant difference. Okay, so if you're to this point now, we're going to tighten down our clamp. So you can tighten down the clamp over here on this side first. Okay, once you have everything tightened up over there, you're going to tighten down this clamp out here first. Okay, and then like I said, we're going to leave this guy on the bottom. He's going to be up at an angle just a little bit so we can get in there at him. Okay. Now that that's tightened, we can button that up. We won't need in there again. That's what you want to leave this guy on there really loose. So you can position it so it is very easy for you to get to. Okay. So get that tightened down, and then like I was saying, you're going to leave that little pinch clamp on that hose. You're just going to bring that up over the first nipple on your new intake. That's all the further it needs to go. You don't need to go ham, it can't go nowhere. Don't go too crazy on that. Okay. Get that tightened down. Now we'll grab this guy with some pliers. Squeeze it so it comes open. Put it on, and make sure when you put it on, you have it in a position that you can get to it again if you ever need to. Okay, just put it over that first nipple. It ain't going nowhere. Really don't even need one on that hose, ain't coming off. So okay, so now our intake is on. We will put our glove box back on. If you did have to take this lock off, that's 2 T20 screws. And then when you unplug this USB wire, red is positive, black is negative. Look at the back of the USB on the glove box. Make sure you got them plugged in correctly. Okay, so we'll get that all buttoned up. So there we go, completely installed. Bike's all back together. So one thing to keep in mind, this filter, you see how it sits on my bike. This is how it should look. Okay, it's not anywhere near the plastic here, anywhere near the plastic here. So one thing to keep in mind is this has a velocity stack set up inside the filter. So you're going to want to push it on, and then pull it back to where, so push it all the way on and then pull it back to the bead roll so it butts up against it. Okay, and then tighten down your clamp. And remember, when you loosen this bolt here, you can adjust this and position it when those clamps up there are loose. Okay, position it where it sits, where this is not against the plastic. Okay, if it's against the plastic, it's not on there right. Okay, and you can also somewhat, a little bit, adjust by angling the filter on the pipe itself and then tightening down your clamp. Okay, so there you go. We got all of our connections done up. Thing looks really sharp on there. Okay, from the front end. It's got a really aggressive look to it. So anyways, there'll be a link in the description to go purchase this. $295, $25 extra if you want to add on that cover. Your little pre-filter. Okay, if you live in an area where it's going to rain at all, you're going to want that. Okay, so there you go. That's my video. There'll be a link in the description to go purchase it from Treal Performance. Go check them out. Follow them on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that. Thanks for watching. You guys have a good day. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Peace.